is your heart beating for? Who is your heart beating for in this life?
It's kind of ironic. We're in the information age, so more so than ever before in human history, there is information on everything you could possibly want to do. Next to none of it is new. Next to none of it's new. It's already been done. It's already been mastered by somebody. It's been done fantastically by somebody. The problem is we have the opposite effect of there's too much information and too much of it conflicts. So one person will say you've got to do it standing up. The other one says you got to do it sitting down. The other one says you got to stand on your head. The other one says you got to lay down on the ground. Well, what am I supposed to do? There is something to be said, something powerful to be said for finding a coach, finding a mentor, finding somebody who resonates with you. And I think that's the big thing, somebody who resonates with you. You don't necessarily need the most famous coach out there in the world. You know, most of us at one point or another have seen Tony Robbins on TV. And Tony Robbins is a fantastic coach in a lot of different regards. But Tony's not everyone's cup of tea. Tony's not everyone's cup of tea. Tony is where some of us are a little extra, he's a lot extra. So you want to make sure that, you know, not only are you doing the thing that you want to do, but you want to find a coach or a mentor, somebody that has experience, but resonates with you. You have a rapport with, you click with. When you see them do what they do, you see yourself doing what you want to do. And when you find that fit, when you find that match, it's worth any amount of money to latch on to that person, to learn what you can learn from that person, to pick their brain, to let them critique you, which is important, to let them shoot down your list of excuses, as you mentioned earlier, and to let them help build you into everything you were meant to be.
Absolutely. And the ability and what you said, there's so much information, and where it boils down is to be authentic to yourself. However, you know, we began this conversation talking about I've always been a little bit extra, and you mentioned that many of us were, mm-hmm. and unless the way you were extra fit a few of these categories, super athletic, super good looking, you know, a super academic, you know, one way or the other, a crazy dancer, like, you know, one of those things that check like the high school box, yep. For cool. Unless you were one of those things, then it didn't work. And when you find somebody who's extra matches, and you're like, oh shit, and you don't have to do it the way everybody does it. You yep. find somebody who really, really just resonates with you, and you said it beautifully. One of the biggest mistakes that we make is trying to do everything that everybody says. Yep. You know, and if your social media feed looks anything like mine, there's a whole bunch of people who I follow, whose opinions I value, whose examples, you know, the examples they set are examples that I want to emulate. They're powerful, they're important, and I can't do everything that all of them do. Yep. And I had to find my own mentors and have. And
you mean you can't be Gary Vee, Ralph Smart, and Teal Swan all at the same time?
All at the same time, right? And probably one of the most painful experiences you'll ever have is attempting to be.
Yep.
You know, is attempting to be. And when you dedicate yourself to being you full time, right? When you dedicate yourself to the exploration and amplification of you, of who you are, and which includes and I really want to bring this idea of love into it, this notion of love. My personal relationship, she's sitting right here, my personal relationship amplifies me, right? My romantic relationship, my partner amplifies me. She champions me. She provides thrust when I don't have it,
Mm-hmm.
right? My friends amplify me. The men and women that are in my inner circle, they amplify me. And if the people around you do not amplify you, trade out your people,
Agreed.
right? Like,
Agreed. If there's anything that 2019 has taught me, is that one of the best ways to add to your life is to subtract from your life. Because
100%.
because there's no amount of work you can do to row yourself forward or push yourself forward when you've got 2, 3, 5, 10 people rowing in the opposite direction.
Right.
All they're going to do is wear you out, distract you, turn you around, and keep you from going where you want to go.
100%. And I tell you, I say this about, Amy and I do communication relationship workshops all the time. And one of the things that we talk about is, if you don't believe that if you don't know if you're in an epic relationship, you're not, and I say, look at your friendships, look at your all of your relationships, and if you don't know if your friendships amplify you, it's because they don't, right? If you don't
Chances
know,
are you've never experienced it.
right, and that's the thing, as most people have no context for what that looks like. And let me clear the air on that, and pardon me if this is taking it a little far off the page, a little extra. It's like an orgasm.
That's actually exactly where I was about to go.
Until you've had one, don't bother describing it. But the minute you have, you no longer wonder what it's like, right? You no longer wonder what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, you wonder, was that it? Is this the thing? Once you've had one, right? And it's unmistakable. And so if the people in your life do not amplify you, if you do not love the people in your life, if they do not bring love to you and bring love through you by amplifying you, by supporting you, and you them, change people out. I call it the ruthless curation of tribe.